Okay, welcome to part 21. In this segment, I'm going to go over something I haven't mentioned before, but it's some handy knowledge to know. It's called bone shapes, and what that is, it's shapes that you put on your armature that take the place of the bones, and it makes it a little easier to see what you're doing. So, the first one I like to do is usually the hands or the feet. I'll go ahead and start with the feet. So, go in the top view, just click somewhere. I want to add a curve, and I'm going to add a Bezier circle. Actually, I don't want a Bezier circle. Let me just add a normal circle. And don't need 32 vertices. Let's just give it 12. That's always a good number. And we don't want to fill it this time. We just want the wire frame of it. So, okay, now go into edit mode. Go ahead and start sculpting it out to look sort of like a footprint. It's going to take the place of our foot bone. So, okay, go ahead and add a subsurf modifier to it. There we go. And I like to go ahead and, where'd it go? There it is. Go ahead and bring the back of it up just a little bit and the front. Kind of a footprint shape. And let's call it foot left. Okay. And let's duplicate that, Shift D, and just kind of drag it over to the side. And go into edit mode and select everything. SX -1. Okay, now, piece of cake. Just grab our foot bones. And let's see, do I want to do it there or on that one? I guess I'll put it on this one, on the foot ik.l. So just grab that bone, and then down here where it says armature, actually over here in armature bones, go to object, and what was it, foot left? Yes. Turns it into that shape we just made. And you can see it's way out of whack, so we go into edit mode of that foot bone and start editing it that way. And it looks like it needs to rotate on the x-axis, -90. There we go. Actually, just regular 90, I guess. Just hit a bunch of numbers on my keypad. Okay, so now I rotate 180. And where did I put it this time? There. Well, that's not right. 180 on the Oi. Rotate 180 on the x-axis. There we go. And let's move it around. You can see the pink dot there. That's the center of this particular object. So just move it around, and we're moving it around up here, but we can watch its progress down here, where it's taking the place of that bone. So just move it until it corresponds with the right place. There we go. Go ahead and scale it down a little bit so it fits the bottom of the boot a little better. Good. And there we go. Just tab out. Now you just grab that, and it moves it now. Pretty neat, huh? So I'm going to go ahead and delete this the right foot, and just do the same thing. Just clone the left one. Shift D, and go into edit mode. SX -1. Good. Okay, and we'll name that foot right. Okay, and grab that one. Object, foot right. And there we go. Now it'll be a little easier to tell which part is the foot. Boom, there you go. Boom. Alright. And, okay. I like to keep all my bone objects on their own layer. That way I can just hide them when I'm not needing to use them once I get them on the bones. You have to keep them in the scene. or the bones will turn back into bones. So I just keep them and I put them on their own layer. We'll just put it on that one. No certain reason for that one. That's just the one I saw first. So, okay, for the ankle, I like to. I guess that one will be fine just by itself. Or actually, you know what? I got a good idea. Let's add another circle, I guess. 12, good. Edit mode, just go ahead and rotate it 90 because it's on the x-axis, because it's probably going to need to be rotated like that as well. Go ahead and scale it down on the x-axis. Scale that down. Go into side view, and I want to duplicate this. So Shift D, and then I want to rotate that 90 on the z-axis. Scale it down so it's more of a circle shape again. If I can, let's see. Is it going to work? Or, you know what, just delete that, and I'll just create another circle. Okay, there we go, perfect. Okay, we'll scale this down to, like, right there. And we'll call this, oh, I don't know, let's just call it ankle left. And let's see what it looks like when we put it on here. Ankle left. Okay. And I need to rotate it, select everything, A. Rotate it to where it's lined up that way, and then rotate it. So, you know, it's just going to normal view, or normal transform orientation, Control-Alt-R. We can just grab the points and rotate them like so. Just scale it down some. And grab the position, move it up. Excuse me. Let's move it back a little bit. And grab the rotation again. And let's see what it's looking like in here. And let's rotate it this way just a little bit, and this way just a little bit. I want to give it where you can see it having the circle there, so you know it rotates around that point. So now you grab that and you rotate it. See? There we go. And since, yeah, I guess I did. Well, if I grab the right one there. Let's try just using that same one on this other bone. What was it? Ankle left. I guess that might work for that one too. Yeah. Okay. There we go there. And on the toes, let's just put like let's create a new mesh, circle 12. Okay. Just grab these guys. Just move them in like so. Kind of a horseshoe shape. And we'll just call this toe. And grab that toe bone. Toe. And it's backwards, so we need to go in edit mode, select everything, rotate it 180 degrees on the x-axis. There we go. And okay. Just line it up to about where the toes will be. Scale it down some. And forward. Let's rotate it some little. There we go. And let's just name this one. Give that one toe also. There we go. Alright. So we got the feet taken care of. So just grab that. Rotate. It's going to rotate the toe. Grab that. It's going to rotate the foot. And that. Rotate the whole foot. And move the foot. Okay. Little tricks like these just help it look more professional, I like to think. It's like the feet need to go a little bit further to the side. Let's just do that real quick. Okay, and this one too. There we go. Okay, go ahead and save. Looking good. And for the hands, just kind of like make like a mitten shape, like gloves and mittens, you know, just like a circle. 12 be fine. Edit. Just kind of give a basic basic hand shape, like a mitten. Okay, go ahead and give that a subsurf modifier too. Now we can rotate. Doesn't really matter what it looks like, just so long as it's easily translated as to what it is. So that's probably too big. Let me scale it down some. And go ahead and grab this. Oh, we gotta name it. Let's see. Hands. Probably gonna have to modify it for both hands. And we'll call this hand left. Okay. And you can see it's way off. So let's grab everything, rotate it. Just grab my transform. Rotate gizmo. Okay. There. And let's rotate it. It's gonna be kind of hard. There we go. And then this way a little bit. Now it's backwards. There we go. No? It's hard to get the orientation of it set up right. Just kind of rotate it around till it gets about where you want it. I guess that'll be okay. Okay. There we go. Now we will move it to line up a little better. There we go. And this way. And there we go. That'll work. Okay, so now you grab that, and that's your hand now. Okay, so let's grab that shape. Shift D, duplicate it. Go ahead and rename. Right. And go into edit mode. Select everything. SX-1. Okay. Name this one hand right. Good. Yeah, they could probably stand to be a little better, but I think you get the idea. Wrong one. Let's see. Okay. And I like to do one for the head. Add a circle. Circles are what I use mostly. For the head, I like to do kind of a almost like a football helmet type of thing. So I get one around there, and then Shift D, rotate that like so. Drag it over. Shift D, drag it over. Okay. See what we're doing here. And then one there, rotate that like so, and then just kind of sculpt it into the shape of a basic head. Actually, without a head without a jaw, because the jaw will have its own bones. Okay, go ahead and scale the sides of it a little closer together. Maybe the top of it down. Okay, so that'll be our head. So just name it head. Okay, grab that head bone, put the object in there, head, and you can see it's way too big. So you just select everything, scale it way down, and rotate it back, and move it up. Maybe scale it up a little bit bigger. Okay. Grab these guys. Okay. So I'll grab that and we can move the whole head. Pretty neat. Okay. Now, almost done with the basic ones. You could make a shape for every bone if you wanted to, but there's not really a need for it. Now I'm going to take the head bone and I'm going to copy part of it. And you know what? I'll just go from scratch. Just make a new circle. Okay. Scale it. The x-axis. Let's grab the sides and the back of it and move them up. I guess that's the sides in front, isn't it? Okay. There we go. Actually, let's grab these guys. I want to extrude only the vertices. So straight back. And let's merge them with those guys. Oops. Not at the center, at the last one. There we go. Okay. And I'll go ahead and subdivide those guys a couple of times. Okay. Now, let's grab the sides and the back. And let's raise those up some. And let's move these guys out. Give a general jaw shape. Extrude that up. And then connect them. Go. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Actually, you know, I can get rid of this edge. There we go. And just move these global. Sometimes you just need to switch back to global. Okay, so that's a basic jaw. Probably a little too long, so I'll just grab it, scale it on the y-axis. There we go. Let's name it jaw. Now let's grab that jawbone, put jaw in the object, and I'll put it in there, and as usual, it needs to be rotated. So let's just rotate it around. Where it needs to go. Scale it down just a little bit. Okay. One other thing that helps visualization, since you got everything rigged up and everything, you don't really need the relationship lines, which you see these little dotted lines. Those are called relationship lines. You can take those off, go to View, View Properties, and bring that up, and it says relationship lines. Just click that and it'll hide them. You can close that back out. So now you don't have as much as of a jumbled up mess with all the lines and everything. Okay, now back into here. All the face bones were on there. Looks like the head bone was still on there. So let's move that back to that very first one. Turn off the face. Okay, and then all the face bones. We could go in and add individual shapes for all the face bones, but there's really no reason to. Well, it looks like I need to rotate some of these bones on the face, like I did on the body. Just select half of it. Make sure my x-axis mirror is done. Control R, and just click back out. Don't actually rotate anything when you hit Control R. And let's see, was there still some more? Where's those other bones? They were right there. Let's make sure everything's rotated right. Just real quick. Don't need that one. Control R. Okay. Looks like everything's fine. Okay, so just grab that. Go ahead and turn that layer off again. There we go. Okay, so that's how you create shapes for your bones. Just helps kind of clean up the scene a little bit, so you don't have so many square looking bones there. Now that you got all those done, you can just grab all the geometries, all the objects that you used for those shape keys. Is that everything? Okay, and like I said, just move it to another layer, and you can turn that layer off. Okay. And another thing I like to put on its own layer are the lights, the camera, and all the empties that are controlling them. Is that everything? Yeah, so I like to move that over to this top right layer, and then I can just turn it off while I'm working. Helps clean up the scene some. Okay, one final thing in this rig. As you can see, sometimes a lot of people do it already, is they create a master control bone. And that's a bone that just moves the whole model, rather than like this bone moving just the hips and this one just the hand and stuff. They make a bone that moves the whole model. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Add a new bone, and just grab it, scale it up some. And all the important bones, like the foot ik.l, foot ik.right, hand.l, hand.right, and the hips, those need to be parented to that master control bone. So we'll go into edit mode and control P, and we want to keep the offset. So now I move this, everything on the model moves, but you can still move the individual ones. So let's go ahead and create one more bone shape for this master bone. And I've seen a lot of people use like a circle with arrows on it. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. Okay, so I got my circle. Go in edit mode. Let's add just a plane, and we can just delete the in edit mode. I can't tell. Yeah. Okay, just grab the face, delete just the face. I deleted all the vertices as well. So just delete only the faces. There we go. We just want a wireframe for these bone shapes. Okay, now all those are selected. Scale them down. Drag these out, and I want to subdivide that. So I got a bone right there. And let's subdivide these edges. Okay. And now I can grab these, scale them on the y-axis. Grab these, bring them up. Drag that out a little further. So we've got an arrow right there. Control L. Let's drag that out like so. And I want to do Shift D. SX -1. Drag that over here. Is that about right? About right. Okay. Grab that and that. Control L. Shift D. Rotate 90 degrees on the z-axis. Good. Okay, so now we got our circles and arrows. I wonder if we add a subsurf what'll happen. Nah, it makes it ugly. Smooths out those arrows. We don't want that. Okay, so now grab that. Oh, let's go ahead and name this arrow. Right? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. There we go. Arrow. Grab the master arrow. And of course it needs to be rotated x-axis. Good. And let's go ahead and scale it up some. Alright. Go ahead and move this guy over to that other layer. Is it right there? Okay. And now we have some shapes instead of our bones. So that helps clean the scene up a little bit. You grab this and it moves the whole rig. And that moves each bone, etc. Feels like bones look really, everything cleared out. There we go. Alright. Go ahead and save this guy. And, well, that took a little longer than I expected, but something that needed to be addressed. It's good to know. So, that's all for this one, and next segment I will probably start skinning the mesh to the bones. And I will see you in part 22.